Hi guys, welcome to Mountain of God. My name is Camille. Today is 23rd of April 2021. Welcome to video number 3. Today I want to talk about subject which is controversial and probably touchy for some. But before we even move out of the childhood period, we need to talk about it because without understanding that, there's nothing else. We need to talk about how to talk to God. You see, I talked with so many of my friends, and unfortunately, more and more I find people who are answering to that subject or talking about that subject exactly as one of my friends that I met some time ago. I talked to her after I don't know how many years of knowing her, like 20 or something. And I just asked her, after meeting her for so many years that we didn't talk with each other, asked her, how are you? What's going on in your life? What is God teaching you now? What's going on? And she asked me, you talking to God? And I was surprised that she was surprised because I said, you don't? It's like the basis of everything is to talk to him. Why? Because, listen, the rule is very simple. If you don't talk to someone, there is no relationship. That's harsh, but that's true. There is nothing there. If I have a friend and I don't talk to him or her for I don't know how many years, there's just no relationship. Maybe there's something that we had in the past, but now there's nothing there. So this is why I want to talk about it today, but not just talk about it and think about it, but I want to tell you what happened to me that changed my life completely, that allowed me to get in touch and get this bidirectional communication with him and finally start getting answers to my questions. But first of all, we need to understand, what do we really try to do? Because maybe because we don't get it, we don't even try to figure out what we are really trying to do. Maybe that's why we're having issues with basically getting the results that we are looking for. Because if you look at this, that's going to be point number 1. What you try to do is you try to talk to God. And if you read Bible, you see how he presents himself and how he's presented. Bible says that God is a spirit. I don't want you to be spooked, but basically what you're trying to do is you try to talk to the spirit. If you try to use the like physics terminology or quantum physics, you would have to you have to paint the picture that you, as a human being locked in this 3 dimensions plus time, that we are kind of locked in, you try to speak to the highest tier of interdimensional being. Like you're trying to talk to someone who is in 12 dimensions, because that's, as far as I know, mathematics, we're kind of figured out right now. But maybe there's even more, I don't know. Maybe there's endless dimensions. And God is above all of them. And now you, as a human being, try to talk to that entity? How would you do that? You're gonna print something like, give me a sign, and just stand on the street waiting for something to happen? Maybe that's why for so many people it's hard to even comprehend, how do I supposed to even do that? It's like being a bacteria and trying to get a human attention. But what you're gonna do? You're gonna jump on a table? Even as a concept, it doesn't make sense. It's hard to even grasp. How would you do that? But this is the point number 2 that I want you to understand. If you watch the previous videos and you see how far he went and how many this additional things that he, how many extra miles he went to show that he loves you. Not only he saved you, not only he paid the price for your salvation, he paid your debt in advance. Not only he allowed you to be called his daughter or his son, not only he allowed you to call him his daddy, Not only he is having attention 100% of you 24/7, not only he's protecting you and he's building an environment that you feel like you're protected and feel that you can grow. Not only he gives you a margin of error, not only he's doing everything he can to help you see that he loves you and he wants to be in touch with you. So now after listening and knowing that, now do you really think that he is going to save you, give you the Holy Spirit into you, and now he's going to play hide and seek with you? That he's going to hide behind the stove and sit in silence so you would not, be able to find him? It makes completely no sense. And if you look at, at everything, basically Adam and Eve, in the garden, the God was there, talking to them, spending time with them. And even when they sinned, even that they did something that will have impact on everyone else, you didn't see him run away. You seen him coming to the garden and not running to them and screaming at them. What have you done? Do you know how many people will end up in hell because of you? No, he's coming and he's asking, what happened? Adam told me what happened. Who told you that you're naked? He's talking to them, being loving as he always was. Obviously, there's a consequence, and they basically had to leave the garden. Everything goes on, but then even his children, he never stopped talking to them. You can read the story of Adam and Eve's children. They're talking to God. Every generation, God always wanted to be in touch, and that's why it's excruciating for me to hear the stories like or the doctrines or theories that God stopped talking to us because now we've got Bible. Where have you found that? Where it is written that at the end of times God will stop talking because you'll have a book? Kind of the contrary. From the beginning of the church when it was started until now, it is said that it's going to be prophecies, it's going to be, dreams and miracles. And at the end of the day, you can read in Joel that there'll be so much Holy Spirit poured down on the people that everyone will have dreams and visions. How is that confirming the theory that God stopped talking to us? It makes no sense. So that's why if we want to talk to him, but he wants to have been in a relationship with us more than we do, so then what do we have to do? So let me tell you a story. What happened to me, so you would understand, and maybe you're going to go and do the same thing and you'll have the same results as I do. There was one person. He's called Marcin. And Marcin, if you're watching this, brother, it changed my life, and I hope anyone who's going to watch this video is going to get the same thing, and it's going to be added to the victories, the achievements that you will leave as your legacy here. Thank you so much. You changed my life, brother. I bless you so much. This guy told me when I was 15, he was the leader of the camp that was there in city and the town where I was living. He said during this camp one simple thing. He said, if you want God start talking to you, if you want to have discussions with him, communication with him, you have to stop talking and start listening. Just stop talking and give him time to answer your questions, just as you would do with every other of your friends. So this is exactly what I did. It sounds easy enough, even though it was hard to comprehend, maybe because it's hard to understand how you would talk to the spirit. So what I did when the camp finished, there was a small room on the basement level where there was mattresses still because we were sleeping there. There was no one there. Everybody left. So I basically locked the door behind me. I sit there, and for I don't know how much time how many minutes, I basically was talking to God, saying this or that, what's going on and what I thought and so on. And I remember in the midst of all of this, I just said, listen, Marcin told me just to sit and give you time to answer those questions. So I don't know how it's supposed to go, but here it goes. And I was laying on those mattresses, just waiting for something to happen. And you know what happened? Out of nowhere, the thoughts start coming to my mind, and they started to answer my questions, one after another. And I was surprised because it changed everything, because I started to hear answers to my questions. And throughout the years, I heard things that were so surprising, so mind-boggling, that it changed my life. And I can see that it's not just my auto-suggestion, because I can see how much I've changed, how much the things that I got were completely out of my sphere. I didn't know that. I have no clue. I was prophesying to people things that nobody knew, just them and God. And I was able to be right on spot. Why? Because hearing God is basis for prophecy. But one additional thing I want to kind of add, that you've got to understand that He is smart enough to talk to you in a way that you will understand. Because maybe you're like me, and talking and listening and the thoughts that will come into your head, that's going to be the way to talk to you. But I know people who are much more fluent in understanding dreams. There's some people who just read Bible all the time. And if that works for you, whatever floats your boat. But you've got to understand, He wants more to have this interaction with you more than you do. So just give Him a chance and He'll find a way. So you would have no doubts that that was exactly what He wanted to tell you. Listen, this is what I want to take from this video. To start talking to your God, you don't have to do much. You just have to be quiet and listen. And give Him a chance to prove to you that He wants this interaction more than you do. And trust me, He's smart enough to do it so you'd have no doubts that He is talking. So think about it and do something about it, because I've got to say it again. If there's no communication between the two, there's no this bidirectional communication, there's no relationship, and there's nothing there. But if there is communication both ways, then there's a relationship, there's love, there's parenthood, there is mentoring, there are changes, friendship, and there's journey that He wants to take you on. Journey that will completely change your life, and you'll never regret it. Like, share, comment. If you didn't like it, comment as well. Give me a shout what you think, what's your experience. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, just give me a shout. I'll be glad to do it for you. That being said, see you in the next video.